Lena had always wondered about her past. Abandoned as a baby at St. Mary's orphanage, she had no memory of her parents. The only thing she had was a thin silver necklace with the initials JD engraved on it. Over the years, she learned to survive on her own, working 2 jobs to make ends meet. The dream of a better life kept her going, even when the world seemed unfair. One evening, while serving coffee at a small cafe in the city, Lena met Daniel. He was charming, kind, and unlike any man she had ever met. There was an air of confidence about him. They had begun talking, and soon their friendship turned into something deeper. For the first time in her life, Lena felt truly seen. Daniel was everything she could ever wish for, but there was something about him that seemed almost too perfect. He never spoke much about his family, and when she asked, he only said he had a complicated relationship with his father. Lena didn't press him. After all, she had her own secrets too. One evening, Daniel invited her to a gala event. "I want you to meet my family," he said with a smile. Lena hesitated. She had never been in high society. But Daniel reassured her, "Just be yourself. That's all that matters." Dressed in a simple but elegant gown, Lena arrived at the grand estate. She had never seen such wealth before. The floors were polished marble, and the guests were dressed in designer clothes. It felt like stepping into another world. Then she saw him. An older man stood across the room, surrounded by business moguls and politicians. His face was familiar, though Lena couldn't place where she had seen him before. Then it hit her. His features, his sharp blue eyes. She had seen them before, in the mirror, in her own reflection. "Lena, I'd like you to meet my father," Daniel said, leading her towards the man. "This is Jonathan Davis." Lena's heart stopped. Jonathan Davis, JD, the initials on her necklace. A name she had once overheard the orphanage matron mention in hushed tones when she was younger. Could it be him? Jonathan looked at her, his face unreadable. For a moment there was silence. Then his gaze dropped to her neck, and his expression changed instantly. "Where did you get that necklace?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lena hesitated but answered, "I've had it since I was a baby, and I always adjusted to my size as I grew older. It's the only thing my birth parents left me." Jonathan's face paled, his hands trembling slightly as he reached out. But then he pulled back. This necklace, it was custom made. Only one person had a necklace like that. His voice broke. "My daughter." Lena felt sick. This man had left her to grow up in an orphanage, while he lived in unimaginable wealth. And now, she was dating his son? It was too much. She pulled her hand back and mumbled an excuse before rushing out of the estate. Daniel followed her, concern in his eyes. "Lena, what's wrong?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "Your father, he's my father too. He abandoned me when I was a baby." Daniel froze. "No, that can't be right." "It is," she said, showing him the necklace. The initials. The orphanage matron mentioned a Jonathan Davis. It all makes sense now. Silence stretched between them. The weight of the truth was suffocating. Daniel ran a hand through his head, struggling to process everything. "Lena, that means we are siblings." Lena's heart broke all over again. Everything they had built, the love they had shared, it was all impossible now. She took a shaky breath. We can't see each other anymore. Daniel looked devastated but nodded. I don't want to lose you completely. Even if we can't be together, I still want to be in your life. A week passed and Jonathan Davis reached out to Lena. She refused to see him at first, but eventually she agreed. They met at a quiet park. The powerful billionaire looked almost nervous. I don't expect you to forgive me, he said, his voice heavy with regret. But you deserve to know the truth. Your mother and I were young. My parents disapproved of our relationship. When she got pregnant, my father forced me to give you up. I was weak. I let them take you away. When I finally went back for you, you were gone. I searched for years, but I never found you. Lena studied his face. There was pain there. Genuine pain. Why didn't you try harder? I have no excuse, he admitted, but I want to make things right, if you let me. Lena didn't know what to say. She wasn't sure she could ever forgive him, but she wasn't the same abandoned girl anymore. She was strong. She had built her own life. She had found love, even if it was love she could never have. Later that evening, she met Daniel. He held her hand gently, sadness in his eyes. I guess this is goodbye. Lena nodded, but will always be connected. Before she could turn away, Daniel pulled her into a warm embrace, his voice breaking. You deserve so much better, Lena. I just want you to be happy. Tears streamed down her face. You too, Daniel. With one last look, they parted ways. Jonathan, watching from a distance, felt the weight of everything he had lost, but he had made a silent promise to be a father he had failed to be, even if it took the rest of his life to make up for the years they had lost. Maybe love couldn't erase the past, but it could help Lena find a new beginning. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales. Thank you.